Joining us now, Senate Majority Whip Dick Durbin of Illinois. He is chairman of the Judiciary Committee.
Thank you so much for being with us, Mr. Chairman. There was a step in the right direction last year after Uvalde. It didn't go far enough, but there was at least a step in the right direction. Is there any hope as the body count of our children pile higher and higher that Republicans will, again, enough will work with Democrats to figure out a way to balance the rights of Americans with the safety of our children?
Joe, that's a critical question. I have a question back at you. To America, had enough? Had enough of this? 131 mass shootings in 93 days? As a father and a grandfather, I cannot imagine the horror that these poor families are going through the day after this shooting. 3 9-year-olds. We saw it at Sandy Hook. We've seen it ever since. It continues. And it basically boils down to this. The police have been heroic. Congress has been cowardly. And the United States Supreme Court, sadly, is off on some mindless venture where they seem to think they can rationalize what's happening in our streets and in our schools. We have to reach a point where people ask a candidate to Congress one basic question. Are you willing to vote to eliminate assault weapons? If the answer is no, my vote is no, as far as you're concerned. Unless and until American people decide they've had enough and they are going to make this a critical swing issue in the next election, it's not going to change on Capitol Hill.
Senator Durbin, good morning. Jonathan Lemire, I know your home state has been touched by mass shootings as well. So these Republicans who are opposing efforts to have further gun reform legislation, what are those hallways like? What are those conversations like in the hallways in that building? When you see one of your Republican colleagues, what do you say to him or her? And what do they say back about this issue?
Oh, let me tell you, everybody has their script, and they're preaching their script, and they're not going to change from it. Even if your own home state or your hometown has been hit by it, it doesn't move them 1 inch closer toward trying to find a solution. And I look at the bottom line here. This approach is basically mindless. To think that the Founding Fathers believed what we have today is part of our constitutional right, the constitutional right of a person to purchase a gun. Highland Park, Illinois, in that situation, with those assault weapons involved in it, they were surrounded by armed policemen there for the parade. And by the time they located the shooter in 60 seconds, that shooter had fired off 83 rounds in 60 seconds, killing 7 people and injuring dozens of others. Tell me that has something to do with a well-regulated militia. Tell me that has something to do with a constitutional right to bear arms. I don't believe it. And the fact that we've reached that rationale is disgusting to me. It's time for the voters to take charge in this issue.
Beyond discussions, of course, on guns, the Senate today will also hold a Judiciary Committee hearing about the border crisis. Senator Durbin, you, of course, will be involved there, chairing that. Secretary Mayorkas of Homeland Security is going to be there. We know Republicans have really vilified and criticized his efforts there at the border. Can you explain to us what American people should expect to hear from this hearing today?
I can tell you that our immigration system is broken in America, badly broken. I joined 10 years ago in a bipartisan Gang of 8 effort to put together a reform. It passed the Senate, was stopped cold by the Republican leadership of the House. The same thing is true today. Here is a simple fact, much like the gun issue. For 30 years, Congress has been unable to reform our immigration system. What we're seeing at the border, what we're seeing happening across the United States, is the product of that refusal of Congress to face this issue. This is another issue where we should step up, put aside the cliches, and find a practical solution that keeps the borders safe in America and says that people who come to those borders should do it in an orderly fashion and be carefully reviewed so that no one who's dangerous will ever come into this country knowingly.
Senator Dick Durbin, thank you very much. We'll be watching
can I ask
that.
the Senator just one final question?
Very quickly, yes, you can.
We've been talking this morning about how for 200 years in this country, we somehow balanced our God-given rights with our responsibilities as citizens to other citizens. Talked about John Kennedy saying in his inaugural address, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. How has that become broken? How is this surge of hyper-individualism that is causing one crisis after another crisis? I got to say, not only the shootings, but also causing a mental health crisis, causing people to isolate more. When did we lose our way on striking that balance between rights and responsibilities?
Joe, let me tell you, I couldn't agree with you more, and I can't pinpoint the exact event or moment when that occurred. But unless we become a nation that cares for one another more than just our own personal interest, we are going to continue to go downhill. I haven't given up. I believe in the future of this country, but the people in the strong, moderate center of this American political spectrum have to step up and resume control of the future of our country.
Senator Dick Durbin, thank you very much. And